welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I think we're going on season 9.
Season 9.
Yes.
Season 9.
One episode per season.
I mean, you guys should know your seasons, given that you like sports. So,
yeah, dude, it's baseball season, college baseball season.
Seasons.
How
Give
we
it
doing?
a reason to be a season.
How we doing?
How is Kendrick this week?
I'm
Kenny,
great.
how we doing?
I'm thinking about seasons.
Seasons. What season are you feeling today?
I don't
Season
know.
your
There's
meat?
only one.
Seasoning. Yes.
I do. I like to season my meat. Give it a good little char before.
Throw it
Putting
on.
it on
Are
the
you
grill,
are you
you know
are you
what
a
I'm saying?
smoker man or a grill?
Both.
He
Interesting.
smoked chicken wings once. Ask him how they turned
Yeah,
out.
I was not happy with that.
I'll tell you what. You want some barbecue chicken? I know a guy.
Me too.
That guy can make some barbecue chicken,
See, I smoked wings for like 8 hours.
Not me.
Pulled them out of the smoker.
and they were raw.
They were bloody. And blood just bloop. I'm like, yep.
I identify as a vampire.
That's barbecue wings for me.
I identify as an oil barrel. Brought to you by the Sap Brothers.
All right. So, what we're going to get into on the podcast today is something that we talk about quite often, and it can mean many different things for different people, but it's holding the people that you do business with, and yourself or friends or family or anybody for that matter to the same standard in which you hold yourself to, and how narcissistic it actually is, because we all deal with, we have these expectations of ourselves personally or our businesses, in which we think that, you know, we're the best at what we do and we can do no wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then when you have, you know, a poor experience with somebody, you want to throw the book at them and tell them that they're horrible and I'm great. Well, little do they know that they aren't as great as they think they are. None of us are. And it's an ongoing thing in the business that we do outside of the podcast, in contracting for that matter. And it's always point the finger, you know, I didn't do it. It's not my problem, or it's not my fault, or, you know, I don't do that. And then you can have a conversation with somebody, insert me, with multiple people, and they can, I don't do that. Yeah, man, I get it. And next thing you know, before you even hang the phone up, they already did it. And you're like, how do you not call somebody out on that? Where, like us, I can tell you that 98% of what I say, I'm congruent with, not only in my business life, but my personal life. I'm not perfect, but I try my best to make sure that what comes out of my mouth stays that way, and I don't have to eat words. And that raises a lot of questions and pisses a lot of people off, and they don't like it, because the world is full of yes men, and they want you to just agree and just bow down and, you know, do what I say to do, or and it's just, it doesn't work that way, for me anyways.
No, I agree. So going off of that, the biggest thing I think of is like sticking to your word. We talk about all the time is like, you know, when you go 6 feet deep, the only thing you have left is your name and your word that you have. And it's one of those things to where, being in the blue collar industry, it's you deal with a lot of hearsay from here or there, and at the end of the day, it's there's certain events that take place that can prevent you being able to hold your word, but it's not that you intentionally decided to pull your word back, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah.
It's more of, you know, we talk about something today, but we're planning for 6 weeks down the road. There could be a series of events that take place that 6 weeks down the road, to where that what was said on this day can't
6
happen.
weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But then they point the finger automatically at you and say it's all your fault. And it's like, well, unfortunately, I can't control. I'm not God.
I can't control weather.
anything.
I can't
Right.
control manufacturer
Exactly.
lead times.
Yep.
I can't control whether or not.
But you're the first one that gets thrown under the bus.
Right. Well, that's because it's never their fault. And we live in a time where it's everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
Right.
But then you get people like us, where the majority of people that we do business with, the majority, I'm not saying all, because it's not, but the majority know. I personally, as Wade and as a business owner, I will put my foot in my mouth in front of anybody. It does not bother me. I don't have an ego problem where I think that I can do no wrong. I will tell people straight up, yep, we shit the bed. Yep, we made that mistake. Sorry, we're going to make it right.
Right.
And I think the problem for me in life and in business is that I've aligned myself with people over the last 15 years of, working for my dad, growing the business and doing what we're doing to put myself that way. And for a long time, I just kind of bowed down, and just, okay. And got to the point where the last 2 to 3 years, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. If you're going to tell me you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and we have an agreement, then that's the agreement. It doesn't change. If something comes up and there is something that is unforeseeable, that whether it's work related or financially related, as long as you straight shoot me and I straight shoot you, we're good.
Right.
But if you want to just blame and point fingers and constantly go tit for tat, you're not going to win, because I'm not going to tit for tat. I'm just going to say, have a nice day.
The most cliche saying,
in a nice way.
The most cliche saying is that teamwork makes the dream work, but that's reality when it comes to like blue collar industry construction, is that teamwork does make the dream work, because as subcontractors, you have these contractors that are in charge of job sites. Well, they decide to point the finger at all their subs if things aren't going correctly. But in reality, it's like, well, us as, the subs, you didn't give me a build schedule. You didn't give me I need this material by ETA date. It's, hey, dude, I need this stuff set next week. Where are we at on it?
I don't know, because I haven't got your selections in. Right. I've emailed you 15 times. And
but that's our fault, because we're supposed to be mind readers, right? We're supposed to read everybody's minds. And that's the biggest thing that comes down to. I was at a customer's house the other day talking about it. We built a house a while ago, and he was just talking about how the house that was built right next door to him was built by the same builder. They had some changes, and then you saw those changes because it ended up being more of anything that went wrong on his house, the contractor took the blame for. But the next house over,
it was everybody else's fault.
Yep. But the little bug that I got was, well, he ran into a lot of internal problems, but he was pointing the finger at all the subcontractors and not pointing the finger at himself. They ran into a bunch of internal problems, and then he wanted to blame everybody else because he was dealing with his own stuff. He wasn't willing to swallow his pride and just.
How many times have we heard that, where people try to put us in that category, and then me or you, we're first to step up and be like, whoa, let me explain this to you. It is our fault. Mm-hmm. It is our fault. This situation's our fault. Why? Well, we've had a lot of change. We've had a lot of growth. We got growing pains. A lot of things have changed for the better for us, and we have to refine and switch up how we operate, operating procedures, employees. We have to make sure that we're doing this, and this now, where, we just don't run willy-nilly, and we're learning as we go. There's no textbook or handbook on how to do this, but going back to teamwork, no one wants to work as a team, because no one wants to take the fall for anybody because their ego. Where like us, literally, how many times do we get to put our foot in our mouth on a weekly basis because of manufacturers? Mm-hmm. And what do people tell us? That's not my problem. You're right. It's not. It's mine. But it is. If we work as a team here, then there's no problem. The solution is we're doing the best that we can. We're getting X, Y, and Z here, or this happened. And no one wants to do that, because then what do? Well, I'll show you. I'll go use someone else. Goodbye. And then what happens? Oh, I don't know. 2-3 months, maybe a year goes by. They're calling you, and it's like, okay, no hard feelings, but it doesn't need to get to that. If teamwork was what it was supposed to be from the get, these problems wouldn't exist.
Or they go use someone else, but still give your number out, so you get phone calls on the weekend.
Which literally blows my mind.
Yeah, if we're so bad, then why do you have your customers calling me on a Saturday
being like, hey,
and on a
so
Sunday?
and so recommended you because they said that you'd get me taken care of today. Yeah. And in my mind, when that happens, because I answer all those calls, I am so mind fucked that I'm like, right. So I'm good enough to be called on the weekend because you can count on me. But we're not good enough for you during the week because
Monday
we
through
might
Friday,
be
you chop liver, bro.
We might be a little bit more money, or you might not like some of our processes that we've had to implement so that we can keep growing and provide the same service. So our service is so good that on a weekend, mind you, we'll show up. and we'll show up during the week, but you don't want to pay the piper.
They just want it for free, bro.
Exactly.
Free.
And isn't it crazy to think about that though?
It's nuts.
And it's not like one or two people. This has happened multiple times.
Yes.
I mean, we've had contractors that give me the middle finger verbally via text because they're too pussy to talk on the phone. And then 3-4 months down the road, they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And we're like, "Really?" And we're like, "Oh, we'll still do your work, but it's still, this is how we operate. Period."
I still remember, and I quote, "I don't talk on the phone. I text."
Exactly.
Oh, jeez.
End quote.
End quote.
End quote.
Dude, it was. And guess what? What did I do?
Yep.
Still did the work.
Yep.
Because it ain't personal. I get it. For me, it's business, and I'm going to take it that way. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be people's friends when it comes to business because it gets muddy. Right. Everybody in the contracting world, they all want to be everybody's friend and make a friend. They don't. That's not how it works. Right. They are all in it for one thing, personal gain. Okay. I'm not in it for personal gain. I'm building the businesses built for my employees, for my kids, for longevity. And when everybody's your buddy or your friend and they start asking for the deals and the discounts, circling back around to the beginning of what we started talking about, the expectation goes from, hey, I'm just here to run my business and be the best garage door service business that I can be and provide the best value and the best service, right? To make one mistake, I dare you. And then they smoke you for no reason. All because of what? Because we're buddies. Well, if everybody was my buddy, I wouldn't be in business. Right. We wouldn't be in business. If I had $1 for every time someone's like, hey, I know Lee and Wade, blah, blah, blah. And they want a deal and I gave it to them or we gave it to them, we wouldn't be in business, dude. Right. So we see this so frequently. I see it so frequently, not just with us. I know multiple business owners. And a lot of them aren't going to talk out about it because they don't, in fear of people judging them or people that know them being like, oh man, they're talking about me. Yeah, if you think they're talking about you,
if you have that guilty conscience,
think they're talking about you, I'm looking at the camera, then I'm fucking talking about you. That's just how it's got to be. Right. Because I want to provide value for customers, businesses, and that's what I want. But I have a business to run. I have employees to pay, mouths to feed. And that's a huge responsibility. But the even bigger responsibility that I have, where a lot of business owners don't give a flying fuck, is they don't want to create value for their employees.
No,
they don't. That's like you were talking about going back to the builder we're talking about. Okay. The problem is now you're not blaming your internal issues like us. I can tell I'm blue in the face that anybody asks, man, what's going on with you guys over the last 2 or 3 years? Hey man, we're learning. We've grown tenfold. We took on this, and this, and we're trying to get better. I apologize. We're going to get better. And guess what? We've been saying it. And what are we doing? We're getting better. Right. What ends up happening is you start to outgrow certain customers though. And that customer base that I didn't understand until now, where we're learning that, okay, we are outgrowing a certain customer base because unfortunately, if we're holding ourselves to this standard, then we also have to hold the customers and people we do business with to some kind of standard. And if we have certain things in the way we need to operate, it's only fair that the agreement is the agreement. Right. And if they don't follow the agreement or we don't, one or the other, then what happens? It falls apart. Well, before, what did we do? We have agreements and we'd just be like, whatever, man, it's good. Next thing you know, we're in a shitstorm, dude.
Yeah, attaboys.
We're next thing you know, every Tom, Dick, and Harry's getting a deal, and we're making no money, or we're getting so much work because we're so cheap that we're not making a penny because we're running with our head cut off, and our guys can't keep up. Right. And then the quality slips. And then when the quality slips, what do they say? What's wrong with you guys? Yeah. Well, what's wrong with us is that we have too much work because we're that good, which we're not that good. That's just how it works. Right. And that's a learning curve. And most business owners and businesses don't want to they'll never say that because they're in fear of their reputation, like it's an ego thing, man. Like you're never too good. And if you think you're too good to get better, dude, you're not going to make it. You might make it, but you're not ever going to make it. Someone's going to knock you off your pedestal, and you're not going to make it. We see it every day in the world we're in.
Complacency kills.
People like, man, we can't be touched. We're the best. Okay.
We'll see.
All right. And then 2 years down the road, we're like, yeah, I told you so.
She gone.
Like, we need to always be getting better, being better for the customer, being better for our employees. And the whole conversation goes to business owners and people in general don't want. It's not that they don't want, it's almost like they don't know how to. I say this saying, you guys have heard me say it. Everybody wants to shine the spotlight, but nobody wants to shine it on themselves.
Right.
And that is exactly what it is. Everybody's like, hey, Nick, how come you're not doing a good job? And Nick would be like, well, if there's an issue with me or with Kendrick or somebody internally, you're going to say it. Where me as a business owner, dude, what's going on? Well, wait, here's what's going on. You're not doing this, and we need you to do that, or boom, boom, boom. And what do most people, whether they're a business owner or in management, do? I'm the fucking boss. I do what I want. I'm the manager.
Okay.
Whoa. Time out. That means, guess what? Yeah. It's your job to make sure that all those things are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that each critical person that's in a position, all the way down to literally the guy that sweeps the shop, like those guys are just as important as the top management.
Right.
And people neglect that because they're just like, it's a body. I got a body.
Well, the biggest thing is like when you're growing a business, everybody talks about it starts from the foundation. Everything starts from the foundation, and then it works its way up. If you have a strong foundation, you'll have a strong house. And we talk about builders, but it's the reality of it. Same thing in a business. If you have a strong foundation, you'll have a strong business. But then at the end of the day, you look at it on the flip side. Well, it starts at the top, and then it works its way down. The leadership starts at the top. You don't want guys coming in here. You don't want contractors or subs or those guys coming in here and listening to the head honcho or the head honchos sit there and rip in everybody every day. They want to come in and have a very welcoming environment, because then that's what sets you apart from anybody else. So when it comes down to them having the loyalty and having the what's the word I'm looking for? I guess we'll just stick with loyalty. Having the loyalty for you, or not for you in person, but just for the business, I think that's key and paramount to finding those that are willing to take a bullet for you or willing to stand up and fight for you instead of be the first ones to throw you under the bus.
Well, because but here's one thing that we're all used to hearing, and Kendrick, you've heard it too, especially being in corporate. It's always when you have a situation like that, how many times would you get belittled by your boss? In front of people.
All the time.
That is so normalized in business, and especially in blue collar, where you have, let's say you got the main dude out there that's running a crew, right? Yeah. Or you're running a warehouse and something goes wrong. Well, yeah, so and so did it, he's fucking stupid, blah blah blah. This is what you hear. They belittle the people that are working under them and for them together, right in front of customers, right in front of other people. And there's business owners do it, high level managers do it, and it's like, do you know what you just did? You just ruined anything and everybody that's working here now, because they know that you won't stand behind them.
Nope.
And that's one of the things I pride myself in. And anybody that knows me and has known me since the day I've worked for my dad, fuck with my team and you ain't gonna like me.
Yeah.
Because I will stand behind them, and that's my squad. And trust me, I live that true, and people know it, and they don't like it. Most people don't, because they're not used to that. They want you to throw your team under the bus when they make a mistake. Let me go and talk to my team. Let me figure out what went wrong. Let's fix it. My team makes mistakes every day. We all make mistakes. But I get to call that shot, and I need to be the one that talks to them, and talk to them not in front of everybody and belittle them like, hey, that's a shitty install job. Hey, you did that wrong in front of a customer, because then you just take the wind out of their sails, man.
Not just their sales, but then the customer doesn't trust you.
They don't trust your technician, and like I saw it at Amar firsthand with you sometimes, where you would get thrown under the bus and they didn't even know what was going on.
Every day. And the thing is that when the people do that and they throw their people under the bus, they, for some reason, think that who they're telling is believing what they're saying. I see right through it.
Right.
Like if someone's like, oh, my team sucks. Well, no, team sucks because of the people at the top aren't doing their job.
Yeah, but the majority doesn't get that though. You know what I
know.
mean?
Well,
That's what sucks.
Well, you got to care. I think people get into business for the wrong reasons. I think people get into business just to be their own boss, make a bunch of money, and they don't care about
Well,
the
it's
customer.
management too, though. It
Yeah.
goes both. It's
Well, true.
management. People. When you hear the word manager, or you see the word when someone like literally.
Can we
Dude,
take that manager word off my
we
title,
all
please?
know. Listen, we all do know people that literally live by a title,
Yeah.
Right.
and if they don't have it, they're like, I don't want the job.
Right.
Well, shit, that's because that's what's branded into the kids.
I know.
You know? They're like,
Yeah,
you
they're
wanna
all
be a
managers.
I want to be the director of operations.
Why?
Huh?
You are, but what's that title mean of importance?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
here's what makes you important. Value added and what you bring to a team.
Yeah.
When someone says, "Hey, Nick and Kendrick handle boom, boom, boom," and when one of them isn't there, and I'm not going to say that your team should suffer because they shouldn't at all, because like you got to be able to function with or without somebody. But when it comes to longevity, like dude, like Nick or Kendrick, like we know they handled this, and this. Like why? You don't need a title, man. Like people put a title on it, and they're more like, "Well, I'm a manager," and like people call here all the time, like, I want to talk to the manager or the owner. And Nick goes, "Yeah, that's me."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it
know
doesn't
what you
matter.
want. Yeah.
It doesn't, it's not, you know, she could do it or he could do it. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I believe and I know that my team knows how it needs to get handled and it needs to stop there and we need to fix it. It doesn't need to make it to 10 different people unless the house is burning down and we can't handle it. And that's trust. That's having the ability and knowing that my team is going to handle it and they know that I trust them. You know, you guys will say it all the time. "Hey, dude, you don't need to worry about it." All right. Where normally I'm going to poke and prod for an hour till you tell me, you know, where most people don't understand that. Like in the whole manager side of things, like dude, I don't put who I am on my business card, not because I don't want people to know, because it doesn't fucking matter to me. I don't go boasting around, you know, I'm the dog, you know who I don't give a shit, dude.
Right.
I'm a freaking door guy, dude. I put my
guy
pants
till I
on.
die.
I put my pants on the same way, my shirt. I got money problems just like everybody else, you know, and that's where people get it so mixed up. And like you said, Kendrick, the business owners get into it thinking that the number one failure to a business owner in my mind, being a business owner, if you get into business, being a business owner because you want more freedom,
Yeah, right.
then guess what? You failed.
Yeah.
And it ain't freedom and it ain't money. Did you get into business to be a business owner, in my opinion, for one reason and one reason only? To bring value to the world, to bring value to your trade.
Right.
And, you know, most people be like, that's dumb. No, it's not dumb because I'm going to tell you, I ain't no millionaire, dude, but I'm a smart dude. And I know that recipe, if you compound it over and over every day and you're a good leader and you have the right intent for people and the right intent for your companies, dude, no one can mess with you because that is true value. You can have all the money in the world. I mean, you know, we talked about, you know, Tesla, shitty situation. But you want to know what, dude? That shit died after a week, everybody flaming him. Why? Because look what he did. Did you see what he did?
I did.
Did you see the $56 billion payout that he had a contract with the board and that pretty much is bought into Tesla. And you don't quote me exactly, but I'm going to paraphrase it and how much money, but it was something along the lines as if Tesla for the first X amount of years doesn't ... and it was to go shit belly up, Elon Musk got a goose egg. Zero. It didn't matter how much money he put in.
Right.
If Tesla failed, he nothing. Zero. Right? Well, if Tesla made it and made money for whatever that longevity was, guess what? They had a contract that said that's fine. And this was all in the beginning of Tesla. If it makes it and we make blah 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 blah, and something goes belly up and there's a massive layoff and da 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 da, Elon goes, "You're going to pay me $56 billion." Well, guess what? They owe him $56 billion, and what do you think they're saying?
Nope.
Nope. This ran into the ground. So this dude literally for, I think it was 5 years, it might have been longer, didn't make a fucking penny, dude. He didn't take a penny from Tesla.
Yep.
You remember I was telling you guys, he slept in the factories, dude, while they were getting built. You tell me any business owner, which is rare, that has the kind of money he had, he didn't need to work. He did it because he believed in the company and the people there. But he's the one that gets smoked for shit, you know, because of people need to do some fact checking. Like, don't get me wrong, the dude ain't perfect. But when it comes to certain shit, the dude does have morals, and he had a moral obligation. And that money, guess what he was going to do with that money that he's probably going to do?
Give it back.
He's going to pump it right back into all the people that are going to have to get these severance packages because he doesn't need it. Right. And guess what? Why do you think he agreed to that? For that reason, because he knows how the shit works. He understands that and having a board to answer to and all these investors that buy into Tesla, shareholders and whatnot. Well, you think they want to pay this dude $56 billion? No. Do you think they thought they'd ever have to?
Absolutely not.
No. Yeah. But guess what? Surprise, assholes. He did what very few people would do, made that sacrifice for all those years, built this company, built multiple companies, PayPal. Everybody forgets about PayPal. Like, people don't understand. Like, do you not understand that he fucking invented PayPal? And you know how much money he got paid out for that? That dude could have sat off in the sunset 15 years ago and been like, hey, thank you.
Yeah.
But here he is giving back, and people neglect that as a business owner, and it pisses me off because there are people like that, and he's a prime example. Donald Trump's another one. People throw him under the bus. I don't believe in everything that he is, but going back to like business and people, these people that people demonize, and there's other good small business owners, you know, out there here locally and whatnot, but you don't ever hear about them. You don't hear about them because because 99% of the time, in my opinion, there's only probably, let's just throw a percentage, 0.5% of the people that were there from the beginning that rode with that guy or gal are still around him.
Yep.
But guess what? If the 90%, let's say you start the company with 5 people, if those 5 people that you started that company with ride that shit out with you, and they do, and it's rare, dude, it always pays dividends, people, if you have the right business owner. But no one wants to do that. No business owner wants to do it either because they want that short-term gain, baby. In their mind, short-term gain. I'd rather have short-term gain and start over. Well, when you start over so many times, and it's not money, it's culture, it's people. Yeah. I know people personally in this town that I wouldn't fucking work for if I was homeless.
Nope.
And they're very wealthy, and I wouldn't work for them. You know why? Because they're shitty ass business owners and people. Yeah. Good for you, dude.
So let me ask you guys this.
Sorry for the rant, but that shit fires me up, dude.
So I'll ask you guys.
I'm going to ask you before you ask the question. Do you have an answer to your question?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
See, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm listening to the whole time, but I like these mid-session questions. So we're talking about the biggest thing is accountability in that contractors, just not even contractors, people need to hold themselves as accountable as they want to hold everybody else. Right.
Some water.
That's the biggest thing. Guy needs water. He's dehydrated.
No, I want regular water.
He wants regular water.
Just fill in the sink.
Not PFA water.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah. So the biggest thing for today is accountability. So I'm going to ask you guys, what does accountability mean to you? What's accountability?
I can go. You want me to go? You want to go?
No. Right. Make Kendrick go first. Kenny.
Being held accountable for your actions, knowing that every action has a reaction, and whether it's good or bad, you take it. That's accountability to me.
I'll take it.
So accountability means similar to what he said, but personally for me, accountability is like he said, good, bad, or indifferent. You stand behind it. You take the heat, dude. No matter what, it can be the worst of the worst, man. You could make the worst call. Stand behind that shit because that's how you should be. And unfortunately, doing the right thing and standing behind your word now is demonized, dude. Oh, yeah. People want you to lie to them. People want you to be a shitbag.
Accountability is integrity.
Integrity, dude. Absolutely.
That's good.
Accountability is integrity.
I like that. Yeah. It is.
I was stewing on that one.
Think of this though. Like, do you think? Do you? And I'm going to ask. Do you think?
Hit it.
Do you think the majority of people nowadays have integrity?
Absolutely, the hell not. Not a chance. Nope.
Do you? Okay. Do you think they believe they have integrity?
Absolutely.
And
They
it's so
manipulate themselves.
narcissistic in their brain.
There you go,
that
narcissistic. Yep.
It's so they're so narcissistic that in their brain they can justify anything good or bad and tell themselves that that's accountability.
Yeah. So I'll put it to you like this. So if you go to Hy-Vee, a local supermarket, and you walk out and your kid has something in your hands that you realize you didn't pay for, 99.9% of people would just get in their car and leave. I don't give a shit if it's a $1 sucker or a $5 thing of dots. Okay. 99% of people would just, oh, we didn't pay for it this time. They would get in their car, they would unload their groceries, strap their kids in, and they would leave. I walk back in the store. Hey, I forgot to pay for my kid's little fucking ding dong sucker here. All right. Well, and I pay for it. Those are the small things.
Right.
People having integrity in today's world, I think it's gone.
Whoa.
That shit happened to me when
But then they're like, well, I spent $350 here on my groceries. I can have a $1 sucker.
They justify it, right?
Right.
They justify being like, I paid enough.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, how many times have, you hear people, I pick trash up off the floor. Dude, I'll go pick up. Cart I'll take carts back.
Where you at, K-Daddy?
Dude, I'll make my kid will go take carts back. I tell my kid to pick up trash. And you want to know the cool thing about this that we're talking about it? Katie brought it up the other day. Her and Kinley were somewhere, and she walks over, picks a piece of trash up, and puts it in the trash can. And Katie was, what do you know? I was picking it up because Daddy does it. Because she sees that, or like when I go, like you guys, I don't know, people will always be like, dude, why are you picking trash up in the bathroom when you go in there? Because, dude, that's what you do. I'm not, like, that is integrity, man. Like, it's okay. Or, when you self-checkout, like you were saying, and you see people on YouTube and whatnot, where they do this for fun. They'll go in and purposely not pay for 50 things or $50 worth of shit at a self-checkout, right? And then as they're walking out, when, the greeter's there, and they're usually elderly, like, can I see your receipt? No. Why? Well, because I don't have to. Well, I just need to check it and make sure that you paid for everything. No. And these people do it because they think it's funny. And it's like, because in their mind, it's an integrity. Like the whole thing that's going around now, have you guys seen the whole Walmart thing?
No.
So if you want to use self-checkout, and I don't think it's happening here yet. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
They're making you pay a monthly subscription, right? Yeah. Dude, you have people, literally hundreds, if not thousands, they're like, I'm not paying that fee. If I gotta bag my own groceries, I'm not paying that fee. Well, you don't have to pay the fee, then just use the not self-checkout. I get what Walmart's doing. They lose a shitload of money. But here's the thing. You're too good now to put your groceries in a bag. What about when like bakers and shit, these older, like what's it called?
Baggers?
Super Saver.
Super Saver. Dude, when I was a kid, they didn't have baggers. I loved it. I got to hit the button and I got to bag my mom's groceries. Yeah. Where was that shit 20 years ago?
Right.
You didn't hear people being like, you're making me bag my own groceries?
Yep.
Like, get the hell out of here, people. Like, we are just so fucking entitled, and it disgusts me because it just spills over into your kids and your business. And it's like, get out of here with this shit. Yeah. Like, you're not too good. You're not too good to, if you're pumping your gas and you see a fucking piece of trash blow across in front of you. Dude, I watch, me, dude, I'm observant. I'll watch people step over a piece of trash and I'm like, really, dude? Yeah. Like, you couldn't pick that up?
No, they're too good.
Or you want to know what my pet peeve is, dude?
They got them soft hands.
Here's my pet peeve. Going to a gas station, right? People getting stuff off the thingies. And it falls on the ground. The rack.
They just leave it.
And they leave it, dude. Dude, do that shit in front of me. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. You'll remember me.
Dude, I just feel like gas stations suck the life out of anybody.
I literally be like, oh, excuse me, can you put that back up? And people, I'm not going to lie, dude. Some women give me the dirtiest looks, dude. Like,
dirty dog.
And I'm like, hey, can you please put that back on there? And they look at me like, are you kidding me? In my mind, I'm thinking, I just watched you leave that.
Right.
And like sometimes it could be the kids, right? They're kids or whatever. And like I've seen people go to the little shooter aisle. Or how many times have you went and got something and you're like, you want to put it back? and you see people just put it wherever they're at. Are
Yeah.
you that lazy that you can't walk your ass back over to the rack and put it because and here's what they say, not my job.
Job security.
So think of this. If they're doing that there, imagine what kind of employee they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Not my job. Imagine what you're teaching your kids.
I hear that from Kendrick all the time.
Not my job.
Yep, that's me. I
Yeah,
don't
no
work.
shit.
I just sit down and interview and mock people.
But like that entitlement, man, and like you said, that accountability when integrity, like I want to believe that there's more people out there that have integrity that don't, but it's so hard when you see the world, when you go to a gas station and they can't pick up the bag of chips that fell, or they literally complain. You guys remember that time when I got into that argument with that dude at the freaking counter at Casey's because there was one register guy and he was disgusted that he had to wait. And I'm like,
Jeez.
dude, this dude's smashing his pizza, on his lunch, just pissed off. He's got his 3 shooter bottles in his hand. Probably just pissed off because there was one checkout.
Right.
And the guy said something to me, and I was like, "Excuse me?" I was like, "Are you all right?" It was effing da 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 da. And I'm like, "Where you got to be?" Well, I'm just waiting in line to pay, and this guy's taking forever. There's 4 more people in front of me, and I'm like, "Do you got somewhere to be?" Like, it's okay. There's only one checker. They're doing the best they can. Blah blah blah. I don't get paid to stand here. And in my mind, I'm thinking, it's probably lunchtime for you, and I'm pretty sure you're getting paid. Yeah. Like, people are so damn entitled, man, and like it's so frustrating because people just have lost that sense of touch of integrity, man.
I just feel like in today's society, doing the right thing, you get more judged than you do just fitting in.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely
So what-
frowned upon, don't it?
So when it definitely comes to like the integrity thing, I think there's more people that have more integrity than we think, but they're just afraid to show themselves. Like literally, they're just hiding behind the stigma of
Hey, yeah.
just fall in line with the next guy. If the next
Absolutely.
guy knocks the candy off the shelf,
Then
just
I'll
walk
just-
over
just
it.
walk
This, that,
over
the
it.
other.
Yeah.
Don't ask him to put it up because then he'll get judged, and then you'll get in an argument. And people don't like confrontation in today's society. And I feel like that's kind of the route that we're going right now. Is just that. I mean, the whole judgmental thing is really starting to hit people to where it's, well, I guess I'll just fall in line with the rest of society, so then I don't have to worry about people judging me.
But then then think about it.
Yeah.
Then they're the first people to judge everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're the first to. They don't want to be judged, but they're the first to judge.
everybody else.
And it's like, why? Like, just do the right thing and be you.
Yeah. Right.
Just do you.
Stick to your morals.
Stick to your moral. And not everybody's perfect, man. Like
No.
it's not. That's not what life's about. Life's about growth and being a
Perfection
good, being a good human being, and like trying to teach these good values to the people around you. You guys see me do it all the time with people that have been here, come and gone. My own kids, things like that. Like I just want, like the world needs, people need to prepare for the world, because I do believe that the world cannot exist without integrity and accountability. It's not possible, because nothing will get done. Nothing will get done. And eventually you're going to run out of people and people are like, oh, well, they'll just replace you with a robot. Okay, good luck.
Yeah.
We're not in freaking Total Recall, dude. Or
What's that movie? iRobot.
iRobot. Yeah.
Will Smith.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And if they do, dude, they're some robots are getting clapped up.
Dude, there's a
Chitty bang bang.
Yeah. Pew pew.
there's a kids show with a dog on it, and their town turns to robots. I watch it all the time. I can't remember what it's called. It's great.
Hold on. Their dog turns.
No, like the whole town, like the
The
mayor
dog's a
of the
regular
town.
dog, but
The mayor of the
Talking
town.
about Paw Patrol.
No,
no.
no.
I say they don't turn into robots.
Show it.
Hey, speaking of that, did you see the Transformer 1? It's like the beginning of Transformers is going to be coming out.
No shit.
It's more of like kind of a cartoonishy, but it looks good.
It's
Yeah.
a blue dog.
Kind of excited for it.
Trying to think of what
It's
called.
pretty much
Dude,
like
it's a
when
good
the
wa- it's a good
Transformers are
watch.
babies.
For you guys that have kids too, it's a good watch. It's actually a good dog show with robots. Netflix. That's what it is. Can't find the title of it.
Netflix and Robot.
I can call the wife.
and
She wouldn't know. Oh,
Me-
it's this one right here. Pets United. Pets
Haven't heard of
United.
it.
Yep. Pets United.
Interesting.
Makes me think about the world and turning to robots. So I'm going to go on a topic here. We are doing great at what we do, and bring it back to the roots. The Grit and Gratitude podcast. What are we grateful for today, fellas?
We usually do that at the end of the podcast.
No, I know, but I'm just asking.
Oh, I got one for you. I got.
Are we doing it, or you got one?
Go ahead. I'm gonna save the best for last.
I'm grateful for the ability to have integrity, self-integrity,
Yep.
and to also be self-aware enough to know that I'm a work in progress. The world's a work in progress, and that don't fall in line, and that being a good person does matter. Like it
Right.
does. When people say it don't, because we hear it all the time,
Right.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It does matter. It really does. So that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I can still wake up, and there's days it's hard, but that's what I'm grateful for, is being self-aware and having integrity enough to know that I'm never too good to be better.
Absolutely.
Good one?
I'm grateful for imperfections. I know Kendrick.
Coming from the guy that's like, when I wake up in the morning and I start to take a piss,
My hair.
all I hear is excellence. And then the light comes down and it shines on me and it just,
Toilet paper comes off.
Dude, you got it. Hey,
literally,
listen,
it
no.
wipes the
It wipes the
seat
seat
for
by
him.
While I'm pissing excellence, I am flexing in the mirror.
Don't lie.
Okay.
You probably stand up and piss like this.
Yeah.
Actually, I do, and I pray.
What happens? And then when he pees all over the ring, the toilet paper comes off and it self wipes it
peeing
for
over
him.
the ring that's
Oh,
decorated.
dude,
the
no.
ornaments.
My toilet seat has like a gentle waterfall that goes around it to
Oh my
clean the
God.
seat off, and then it just.
Dude, tell me
this
it's got
guy-
LEDs in the back.
This guy does.
Absolutely,
Does it
it
have a
does.
bidet?
That's what I was gonna get to next.
Shut up.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm totally
I
kidding.
adjust the water temperature.
Yeah.
96.
No, I'm totally kidding though. I take imperfections and not being perfect as a learning lesson every day, because you're not, we talk about it here all the time, is that anytime you fail, you don't really fail. You just learn something. You learn something new to get you to that point that you want to be at the next time around, because we don't believe in failure around here. I don't believe in failure internally myself, but with the people that I've surrounded myself with, failure is not an option, and we talk about it all the time. So if we are going to reach a common goal and we fail to reach it, no, we just learn on what not to do next time, so that we can game plan and brainstorm and figure out what to do to come back stronger the second time around. So that's what I'm grateful for, is imperfections, even though I piss excellence.
Hoorah.
Right. Kendrick, let's hear it.
Yeah, you got a good one, dude. When
Dude,
you're
he
like,
built up the
he
hype.
did,
I'm
dude.
gonna save it till the end.
No.
I'm gonna save it till the end. There's two things that I'm grateful for.
Okay, can we get one?
We can get one.
Okay.
Dude, you bet all I know.
Corny.
Listen,
Corny.
that end
Oh,
one
here we
better
go.
be hyped.
Here we go.
Dude, it's gonna save me an argument. We'll just say that.
Oh, shit.
Anyways,
Okay.
so what I am grateful for is to be able to work with a bunch of people that share the same values that I do, because I believe it's made me a better person being here. Just because seeing how you guys act when you do it by yourself for so long, and it can start to be like, well, shit, why am I the only one doing it? But when I see you and you hold yourself accountable, sometimes, just kidding. But when I see you guys do it, it just
Then fighting words, boy.
certifies me to keep doing what I'm doing. So.
Hey, to circle off that, dude, that couldn't be more clear to me, having you guys and the crew of guys that we got in the business that we're building, because I know exactly how you felt.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, to have people that believe the same values that I have, that like, no, you're not perfect, we're always going to have things to work on, but we all have that same, like, we know we got to get better. We know, like you said, failure is not failure. That's a learning curve, and like, we're going to get better from it.
Absolutely.
Dude, I missed that for years, dude.
Yeah.
Like, for real. And that, like you said, Kenny, that started to wear on me to the point where I quit believing at one point for a little while that like I mattered, that it mattered to be that way. And I wanted to give in to that, being a cog, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Like everybody else, just for once.
Just for once. Like, I've said it before, and even recently when I get frustrated, I'm like, God damn, why can't I just I just want to be normal.
Yeah, why do I have to care?
Why do I got to care so much? Why can't I just be like, you know what? Everybody else can do this. let me do it. But then immediately, as soon as I think it, my brain's like, you're a bitch.
Right.
Then
You know what it's
second guessing.
you know, it's that bitch voice, and it's like, don't do it, because if you do it, you're gonna regret it. And I never do it, but there's times where I'm like, man, I'm gonna do it. Don't make me do it.
Right. And then, I mean, see, it's just kind of refreshing. I don't always like being down in the dumps and talking about all the negatives, so I just wanted to bring a positive into it, because we struggle daily. Every single one of us struggle daily.
Man.
We vent to each other, and we vent to our employees as well about how the struggle is real. But
and we let them vent. We're on this journey, dude, not just business and what we're doing, but life, man.
Yeah.
You know, people neglect how much time we spend together. When you have a job, it doesn't matter if you own a business or you have a job, you spend more time with those people than you do your spouses and children.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And if people looked at it and really took inventory of that, and you added up the hours throughout your life that you spent with those people, don't you want to make sure that you're doing the best, and you're trying to be the best version of yourself for those people that you're around, so that they enjoy being around you and you enjoy being around them, instead of making it you can't stand each other.
So here, let's do the math. Yeah. I want to
Do
the
it.
math real quick.
Let's just
We'll go off of it based off of a 40-hour work week.
No, let's do. I would say no. I would do 6 hours a day. I wouldn't
6 hours a day.
6 hours a day.
Being around us three together.
Well, way more than that.
So we'll do 6 hours a day times 5 working days. That's 30 hours.
Yep, times 52, and let's just say
times 52, 1560. Oh yeah, I forgot. Who needs a calculator?
okay. So you got that, and then let's figure when we go home, right, with our spouses, kids.
So how many hours a day?
Let's
12
say-
on the weekend.
let's say-
Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday, and then let's say 3 hours a week, maybe,
Plus.
or 2.
I tell you this, I get a lot more than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
I'm home all the time.
I would say.
I
See,
never
I'm
leave the
not.
house.
It's
No,
different.
I know.
See, my math ain't math.
So like I go home and I get home at 6, and from 6 until 9 I'm with my son.
How about this though? I get where you're going with that, but actual
Time?
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying
Yeah.
all of us. But like actual time where you're like
Everybody's
100
different. Though.
when you're
everybody's different.
Yeah, everybody's different. So that'd be
Because
tough.
I'm sitting here, I'm just like, dude, half my morning on the weekends is spent at the gimnasio, the gymnasium.
Oh.
That's
Well, I will tell you this, and I think I'm possibly fucking my kids up. Sorry for the language, but I spend
That's a
lot of
bad word.
You know what I mean? Like, and we hang out all the time. Like my son, he's attached to me at the hip. Second I get home till he goes to bed, and then he fights with me because he doesn't want to go to bed. He just wants to sit out and watch the game that I'm watching or something. So, yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time with him. I think though it's kind of messing them up because they become dependent on that, and then when they separate, it's a hard separation. Like I'm going through that with my daughter.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
We're all family, man. We are.
We are.
It don't matter.
Our kids are, I mean,
Guess what? We can't slow down time regardless. You just got to
No.
cherish the time that you have with one another.
yeah,
and
and
then
if I
cherish
mean,
the
but,
time you
but
have with your
I
family.
genuinely do believe though, circling back, like we spend a lot of time with the people that we work with.
Absolutely.
A lot.
Absolutely.
And it's a
At
completely different
100%.
relationship too than like your kids and your spouses. Like it's way different, dude.
Well, my wife thinks that I come and just hang out with my best friends all day. It's great.
So do mine.
Yeah.
Like every.
Yeah. It's
but
like rainbows and
kinda-
unicorns. What?
That's not what we do.
I mean, yeah, right.
No, dude, we get shit done.
Oh.
Do you not get shit done?
According to you guys, I don't.
Hey,
Integrity,
Hey.
dude. Integrity.
And you know what?
This
My
man has
integrity.
it.
And you know what this
man has it right here.
just like when we're out there, you did a really good job today when we were
At
cleaning that
supervising.
HVAC and you were eating. I'm like, this dude's watching us
that's the
while
boss.
he's eating them eggs right now, and
That's
I'm
the boss.
Here, time out.
If anybody
trying
would have
not
walked
to
in
fall
at that
and
point in
break my
time,
neck.
No,
you were the boss.
You need a backstory.
Hey, who do I need to talk to
I
about
was
insurance?
working,
The guy sitting on the chair
and
over
I
there
was
watching
trying to
everybody
eat
work.
my eggs, and I was working, and all of a sudden I hear, Kendrick! And then I walk out there, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm just going to go bring my eggs because he's just going to sit there and...
he's gonna yell at me anyways.
Who?
You!
No.
You! No, yes. So at least I'm comfortable and full.
That is a
while
false
I'm
statement. I retract
talked to.
everything about
Oh,
integrity.
and
there.
I forgot. and I forgot the HVAC was off, so you were probably gonna fall asleep in your office anyways.
I will.
Yes. It was
don't like
cooler
the
in the
heat.
shop than his office at that point.
Yes. It is kind of hot in here, though.
No, so let's talk about all the positive things that have been going on in our world recently.
I mean, honestly, man, we got a lot of great things going on. I mean, business
It's
and
hard to
personal.
pinpoint
Just
one. Yeah.
it is. I mean, there, like you said though, we have shit that happens every day.
Absolutely.
I think the number one thing that I feel like we've all gotten really good at, and we're getting way better at, is not letting those little things that typically would just wreck our day. Right. We're like, hey, we got it. All we got to do is, hey, it's not a problem. Let's just get a solution. Boom, done. All right, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
That's it. Where normally we would let some of those things creep in our mind.
Send us in orbit.
And we'd be like, and then we're ranting for 20 minutes all back and forth about the same thing or same situation, person, whatever. We can't control that. I think we've all gotten really good and a lot better at letting those things go that we can't control.
Yeah.
Because all three of us naturally, we're control freaks, dude.
Yeah.
All three of us. And we're like, if we're not behind the wheel and we don't got the wheel, we're losing our mind. And
It's funny that you bring up wheel and being in control, because every time I ride with you, my life is in jeopardy.
it is.
I'll let you control me.
Yeah. Easy, because I will,
That was a
may
topic
or may
for last
not
week's podcast.
hit a curb.
I was hoping that someone would catch up on that.
Oh, I caught on to it.
Of course you did. That's where your brain's at.
Or when
What?
Kendrick rode in the dually with me to Lincoln, and his whoop showed he had like a 20 strain.
Yes.
And he's like, dude, that shit ain't lying. I'm like, I'm that bad of a driver? Yep.
Yeah. You almost made me eat a flatbed, bud.
I know, dude.
I remember that.
Nick
That's
does it too. Don't let him fool you.
dude.
We're driving down and we're getting off the interstate. And he's like, you said you wanted pepper jacks?
Yeah.
Like you were going off, you were going to go into the grass, remember?
Where were we at?
We were on 144th coming back from the interstate.
In what truck?
Your truck, your personal truck.
The Jeep?
Yeah.
What? I don't remember that.
Dude, yeah. And you're like, oh, let's go to Pepper Jack's. I'm like, fuck, dude, there's a lot of cars here. I got a Jeep. I'm like, no! I'm like, we're gonna die. We're gonna die.
I take after. Hey, leadership. It starts at
Dude.
the top, bro.
I am the worst
He made
driver.
it as far as,
With me.
he made it as far as he did, dude.
Dude.
So I'm trying it.
Yeah.
I'm the worst driver, and I admit that
take the wheel.
wholeheartedly.
Oh, no, I think. What was one thing that I had on my mind? Brain fart, but
The positives. We're talking about the positives.
100% positives. But how could we get better as well?
Man,
We got to be able to.
so
we
many
got to see
things.
both sides. Communication.
Communication.
I think communication is paramount in today's society, whether if it's, at home with the family or if it's at work with the business. I think communication is bar none one thing that we can get better at, but one thing that everybody can get better
Absolutely.
at. You rather over communicate than under communicate.
Man, I could tell you, I agree with you 1,000%. I think everybody right now in the world and in life,
Yeah.
communication, man.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one other thing that I would pick. I think communication is what we all really need to work on as people, because that's what keeps us connected. And I don't mean, we don't mean with an email. We don't mean
about
with a
the
cell phone.
textograms?
The textograms.
The textograms, bro.
You know, the inflection in your voice from a phone call or a face-to-face interaction, that speaks volumes. And
Right.
that is what and we've talked about a little bit on the podcast already, but, them uncomfortable conversations people don't want to have, well, then guess what? There's no communication. Yeah. And it's like, why not? It's all right. Confrontation is good. Confrontation, that equals growth. Right. Why? Well, because then we're going to come to a solution.
Right.
We're going to, doesn't matter what it is in your personal or your business life or whatever, with your kids. Like, people I don't like to be a confrontation with my kid. Let my kids test me. Watch what happens. Because we're teaching them the skill of you cannot do X, Y, and Z without, like you said, every action has a reaction. Yeah. Well, we live in a society where you can have an action, there's no reaction. People are like, I don't want to deal with that right now. Whoa, time out. You're not teaching them anything. Yep. We see it in school. And it's we see it, and we correlate everything to business because that's what we do, and we're grown adults and we don't go to school anymore. But that whole communication between one another, and like we run into it in here all the time.
Yeah.
And it's
our communication with each other sucks sometimes.
Oh yeah,
I'm going
It's
to tell you
trash.
right now. 3 years ago or 2 years ago, whenever I started, they're night and day.
Oh, dude,
Night and day.
night and day.
We've gotten better.
No, oh,
No
absolutely.
way.
Do you think
It's possible.
if you threw a
I never thought
percentage
about
on
that.
it, don't even say 100% either.
Picky tack, what's
what
up?
would you give the percentage
I'd
split
say
here?
At least you guys have gotten 60% better. I mean, there's still stuff that we
Dude.
can work on.
It's better than 50.
Oh,
Dude, you need to tell us that we got 60% worse so we can always fight to get better.
No.
Because the thing is, you start telling someone that they're getting better, they
Then
get
we're-
relaxed, they
we're
get complacent.
getting relaxed and
Complacency
complacent, yeah.
kills. Bro, Think about this. When you first met me, you are the OG.
You should have said 30.
Dude, you are the OG.
I'm just saying integrity.
What did I used to say literally every day at Amor? You remember that?
What did he say?
Was it
when I
loyalty is
messed
royalty?
No, when I messed the littlest thing up,
said
you're like,
that?
dude, it's
All the time. Then he left me on my birthday, and I had to work.
My bad.
Biscuit.
whose fault was
Dude,
that?
you're a scumbag, dude.
I know I'm a piece of shit.
Whose fault was that?
I'm a piece of
It
shit.
was
You're
my
a
fault that it
dirtbag for
happened
that
on my
one,
birthday.
dude.
What's that?
It was my
Are
fault.
we
that
having confrontation right now?
You wanna know what?
I heard confrontation's good.
Listen,
It is. It's very good.
I did not know
Put
that it
'em
was
up.
on your
What?
birthday. This is new for me.
It was my no. So whenever he left,
Was it your business birthday?
No. So
Yeah,
I used to
right.
always take my birthday off, and I didn't really do anything.
Oh,
I
You're
you're
one
that
of those
guy.
guys.
He's that guy.
correct me if I'm wrong, but my birthday was just like a few weeks ago, and nobody here knew until my wife came in and brought me food.
She's a great wife, dude.
Facts,
My
dude.
wife is awesome.
That's good.
I'm
Bro, I'm
grateful
sorry.
for my wife.
I made up for it.
Is that
though.
what you're grateful for today?
Dude, that is exactly
Hey,
what I'm grateful for.
I made up
There
for
you
you,
go.
big dog.
You did.
You got your
got me
flowers.
flowers.
Did your
got me
wife get you flowers?
I got him flowers
No, don't do
and
that.
No,
I got him.
do that.
I'm not.
Dude, I got
do
him
that.
flowers and candy. His favorite candy.
Dude, T is great to him, bro. She comes and brings him eggs every day, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah, after working
wow.
an overnight.
After she
shift.
works like 40 hours straight,
Yeah.
she
She's
whips him
Is
up
she
some
doing
eggs and
the, she
brings them
doing
in.
the College World Series shit too?
Yep. She works 3 jobs, so I can
Starting Friday?
enjoy my life.
She'll
and do
see
what
me
I'm
for
doing.
like a week straight. Tell her to
Oh my
prepare.
god, dude!
Literally.
This dude's gonna be there Friday,
Sunday,
Monday,
Monday, Tuesday,
and Tuesday.
You'll
That's
probably see
4 days.
Paige there then. She's going to go to Friday to a game with her friend,
Friday morning.
I think.
Where's she sitting?
Don't know.
Up by Tia.
No, Tia's working.
Well, I know, but like up
She's
in that
going
section.
with her friend, and I think they're
Oh.
all sitting together.
Oh, okay. I'm
Tia's
sitting in the
working.
outfield, section 231, I think,
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know where she's sitting.
so I can chirp at the
She
outfielders.
don't even like baseball. She's just going. I don't know why she's going, but she's not a sports fan.
She's not. Wade's not a sports fan either. So
But
we
guess
can't,
what?
Can't talk about sports. Panthers are great. Yes, I know.
No,
Celtics are great. Yes, I know.
My dream came true.
What?
My daughter came downstairs and asked if she could work out with me yesterday.
Big swole.
I'm excited.
My best friend asked to
Anyways, what
work
were
out
you
with me a
saying?
long time ago. Still waiting for him to show up.
Kind of
Hey.
went off on a tangent, but what you used to say to Amar back in the day?
Dude, remember I used to tell you that.
Hey, I'll
places
be
he
there.
killed was, like,
I'll be
all the
there at
time.
5.
Or
Just,
like
call, just call me and I'll be there.
I made like the biggest I made like the smallest mistake, and I'm like, dude, I just killed someone. You remember that? You don't remember that?
Yeah,
I
I'm
used to
the
do it
same
all
way.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. The
Yeah,
places he
yeah.
kills. That's what I was saying earlier, but that's literally
you
a past
kill?
subject. What's that? Don't you fucking
it's
worry
taking
about it.
accountability even for the
Why are
small
you
shit.
telling everybody?
Yeah, my bad.
You're supposed to be the 3 a.m. friend, not the snitch.
We got coordinates here.
My bad.
136 in Harrison.
Yeah. 138th and Harrison,
Oh shit!
in between 138th, 132nd.
Don't give the exact address. There's actually a cemetery over there.
There it is.
Yeah. That was smart.
You
yeah.
have been implicated,
smart.
and we are going to indict you.
I'm a time traveler. I killed all these motherfuckers.
Oh my
but,
god.
No, dude. I just like
That's getting cut for sure.
that we have a foundation now to where we're not afraid to step up and make others accountable for their mistakes, because we used to bow down.
We were scared, dude. We didn't know.
I've noticed
We
a
didn't.
change in that too.
Well, think
Yeah.
about it. We were like, well, if this happens, we're screwed.
Yeah.
No, we have
If
to
we
figure
lose
it
this
out.
customer,
We're screwed. If we
because
lose that tech, we're screwed.
Right.
No, we had to learn that we're not screwed. We just have to move on and be better and find better
Right.
in whatever aspect it
customers
is.
that underli-
Because if
or-
we sit
yeah.
there and we, I think we've all three learned that if we kept being scared at what we couldn't control and we just bowed down to it, we wouldn't be where we're at right now.
I completely agree.
We would
100%.
we wouldn't be nowhere near where we're at because we
100%.
would. We wouldn't. We had to learn that lesson that if we don't hold the line of accountability with everybody, including ourselves,
Right.
we're just holding ourselves back. But I don't know if you guys have ever heard me say this, but we're doing people, customers, employees, things like that. We're doing them a disservice by not holding them accountable.
Right.
Because then they move
They're
on
never
to
gonna
they move on to the next place or whatever, or the next vendor or whatever. And if we kind of held that line, then they move to the next person, and they're like, let's say that customer holds the line. Now they're like, whoa, okay. But if we didn't, there was no lesson learned there, you know. And like with employees, if we didn't hold the quality standard, you know, of what we do, and those, if you can't do the small things right, you can't do the big things right.
Right.
You know, and when people hear, I've heard people hear me say that, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Think about it. If you can't do the small things right, you cannot do the big things right.
Right.
Because yeah, it might do what it's supposed to do, but at what cost? Is this right? Is that straight? Is this crooked? You know what I mean? That it's the small things that matter.
If you're vulnerable with your customers, that's when your customers take advantage.
Absolutely.
So you have to stand up for yourself and not be vulnerable to your customers.
Okay.
Then they'll learn not to take advantage.
It's what have I gotten a little bit better at? It's okay to say no. Yeah. And there was
it's
a guy.
It's a damn good feeling to say no.
I'll tell you what. Like I've told you guys this story, and I'm not going to name him. And I don't know if he listens to the podcast, but I'll never forget. I'll never forget. I had breakfast with this guy probably 6 years ago, 5 years ago, and he had a yellow notepad. And I was like, man, I need some advice, you know, or I'm trying to learn and grow. When, you know, I seen what he was doing and whatnot, you know, and he come from a really good business background, his family, very successful. And he's very successful still here in town. And he had on this notepad, he said, right here, this is the most important thing I'm going to teach you right here. You see how this is written right here at the top of my notepad? It's okay to say no. And then he explained to me, because I'm like, I didn't understand. I didn't understand it until
you were young
a year ago,
then, though.
You know, and understanding it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand what that meant, although he explained it to me. And he, you know, he's like, I only do jobs here, 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 and here. I don't go here because I choose not to, because that's not It's okay to say no, Wade. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. You know, yeah, I know. And did I learn that lesson? No.
It doesn't feel right.
It doesn't. Saying no doesn't feel right. It feels wrong because you're like, oh man, I'm gonna make them mad. It's okay, because not everybody, not every employee, not every customer, not everybody is for you. Not everybody understands or wants to understand. Not everybody wants to support you in the way that you want to be supported, and that's okay.
Right.
So, you know, that hits home for me still.
The biggest thing is, like, I stand here and I look at dudes and I'm like, you're a yes man. And then I take a look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, you're a yes man too. That's the biggest thing, learning how to say no, because you just want to say yes, but you want to say yes for the right reasons. You don't have bad intentions for it.
No.
But then you look like the bad guy, because if you give too many yeses, the ball's going to get dropped somewhere.
I mean, how many times have you guys seen me give money or give jobs away when we shouldn't have? Because
I thought you said you were giving money. I was going to say my
ball in.
Ego.
You know what I mean? Like being like, hey, just tell them we'll do it for free, when it was nothing to do with our fault.
I got a couple customers like that, boy.
It's like, you know what? No, it's okay to say no when it's not our fault or our problem. We did everything that was expected, that was on the contract. We went above and beyond, no matter what. And it's still hard to do, but like you just said, you want to say yes for the right reasons. And I was in the funk of saying yes for the wrong reasons. My thought is if I don't say yes to everybody and everything, I'm never going to be good. I'm never going to have good employees. I'm never going to be a good business, because I'm yes.
What about,
it's a complete opposite.
But what about all the crooked companies out there?
Absolutely,
you want to say yes because you know you're going to take care of them and you're going to be honest and fair.
But they're not going to do it to you.
Right. Exactly. That's the flip side.
Their intent is
take advantage
not to
of
take
you.
Care of you.
Right. They're going to just take advantage of you.
And that was a lesson learned. You know, I think we all learned that on both sides of the business. We thought if we do that, we're screwed.
Yeah.
We did that, and then we were like, "No, man, we got to jump, dude. We got to peacock. Got to let me fly." And here we are.
My boss says jump. I say how high.
And now here we are, and we realize that it's okay to say no.
Absolutely.
To the wrong kind of customers.
Right.
And there are customers that we're going to say yes to that sometimes we shouldn't, because we're like, hey man, that's the cost of doing business with certain people. You know, hey, this went sour. We're really sorry. We want to make it right with you, because we know that in the long run, it matters to them. They might be a little hot at that point in time, but it pays dividends. And what we really found out is saying yes to the wrong people. What did it get us? got us a lot of heartbreak, dude.
Yep.
A lot of heartbreak in business.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of like muddy in the water where we were like, dude, we thought that like all those extra things that we would do and make sure and go there on Saturdays and Sundays and a this and a that and not charging them for this when they made that mistake or putting the free window section in that they missed on a quote, you know, that we over and over and over thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for people for them to show us really they didn't give a rat's ass.
Right.
And we shouldn't have been yes men to them. We should have said, nope. This is what it is.
Right.
Nope. You made the mistake. Nope. Sorry.
Right.
You know.
But then when you start holding them that accountable, that's when they fly
flip
away.
on you.
Yep. They fly away.
Which is fine.
Yep.
You find the customers that appreciate you. The guy that you met yesterday that you were talking about that owns his own, you know, practice and things like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, this guy got it, dude. Straight
He understood. Him and I sat there, chopped it up for like an hour.
Yeah.
Because he was asking, hey, you guys staying busy, this, that, the other, how the contractor's treating you. And I kind of let him know. And I'm like, dude, teamwork makes the dream work. And I kind of let the guard down a little bit. And he goes, I completely understand. And I was like, well, at least I'm not just some random dude you're talking to going nuts over here. He goes, I get it all the time. I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm like,
yeah. And we hear it. And it's like, man, it don't got to be that way, dude. It doesn't got to be that way.
It doesn't.
You know. But we live in a world that's very, very selfish, man. And people are just looking out for themselves. And you know what? They don't care if they're affecting me or you or this business or the employees. They don't care, man.
You just got to look at it. Definitely people your guys' age, my age too. But there's clearly there's an age difference, and you always have to be a part or feel like you're being a part of something bigger than yourself.
Absolutely, dude. We talked about this today.
Yeah. Being a part of something bigger than yourself, because you're always worried about yourself. You're going to get nowhere. But if you're worried about everybody else as well and yourself and being a part of it, that's what drives you. Who drives you? Your friends. Who drives you? Your friends. Who drives me? My friends.
Yeah. This place, man.
I don't drive myself.
No, dude. There's days like I'm human, just like anybody else. There's days where I'm like, oh, dude, I'm beat, man. Slept for 2 hours, up all night doing whatever I'm doing.
What
and
are
I'm
you
like,
doing?
you know, making hats and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or laying there just like my brain going a mile a
Tweaking
minute.
out.
Yeah.
Tweaker. Yeah, there you go.
But, you know, sitting there and then knowing that, dude, 6 o'clock's coming quick. Man, I could have every reason to not get out of bed.
Right.
But I'm like, hey, my team needs me.
Absolutely.
And not that they need me, like I need you, but no, they need me there.
Well, it feels nice to be needed, though.
Absolutely,
it does feel
dude.
nice to be needed.
Absolutely, like when you make a difference with your teammates, your businesses, and your employees, and vice versa, dude, that shit matters, man. I mean, how many times have you heard people talk about like, man, I just don't. I love my job, but I don't got a purpose. My job doesn't give me purpose. Think about that.
That hits.
I love my job, but it doesn't give me a purpose. You know, you and Kendrick can probably really relate to that. You know, I just tell you to come here, shut up, do your job, and you go home.
I completely understand where those people are coming from.
Yeah, and that's what you need to keep doing.
Yeah.
You know, just shut up, do your job.
One famous man once was told to shut up and dribble. Okay. I myself have been told to shut up and work. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
A couple times, maybe.
A lot of times.
But you know, like it's one of those things, man. Like purpose, dude.
That's
purpose.
That's the biggest thing. That's what we find in today's world is that everybody's looking for a purpose. And I think we've touched on it before, but I guess, I mean, it's a good topic now is that everybody's chasing the dollar amount, but in reality, I'm chasing my purpose. I found my purpose.
Mine.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I think we all have.
None of us are ever going to say that money doesn't matter, and that's not a real thing. But I will tell you,
money does matter. I got bills to pay and kids to take care of.
But
absolutely.
there are people that are like, I don't give a shit about money. Da, 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 da. Listen, time out. Reverse. It's not that you don't care about money, but your purpose is bigger than that. Your purpose is bigger than that dollar amount. You know, and if you do it right and you align yourself with the right business, the right people in your life, whether you're an employee or business owner, guess what follows? Wealth, money.
Right. Wealth in general. Not
if you
not just
follow
money,
the right
wealth.
people and you surround yourself with the right people, those things happen, and they happen very nicely for you, and it's not short term. Where how many times have we heard people that we know personally in business that are like, man, they work for so and so making $1 billion, dude, and then 2 years later, guess what? They're broke.
Yep.
And guess what? They're working for somebody again, and they're job hopping. Yep. Well, if it was so good, then what happened? What happened, big dog? What happened, little pup?
Yeah.
Now you lost everything. Why? Well, because you said that it was so great. No, you chase a dollar amount.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, we talked about an opportunity that got put in front of me yesterday. Right. I ain't doing none of that shit, man. Like, my purpose is bigger than that. Right. I can do a million things, a million different businesses, a million different ideas, but it doesn't matter what I do in life. It could be selling butterfly books or picking up dog shit or doing garage doors or being a janitor. And guess what? I find purpose in that shit.
Right, absolutely.
Because I find purpose in me and what I want to do, and I know what kind of person I am, and purpose is what drives me. And most people don't look at it like that, man. Right. You guys look at it like that. I think the majority of the people that, you know, work here and whatnot, we're helping them learn that, like, money is great to chase, dude, for real. Yeah. You have to. But purpose is even better. And if you give yourself a purpose and you work somewhere or you do something, you don't even got to work somewhere. If you do something that you genuinely love and it brings you as a human being purpose, you're going to be wealthy. And that doesn't mean money, because everybody's wealth is different. Yeah. There's people that make bare minimum and they love their life because they love where they work and they love what they do.
2-hour lunches.
You know? You know what I mean, though?
No,
like, have you guys ever met anybody like that?
Yeah, I mean...
Have you ever met anybody that literally just, they love what they do and the company they work for so much that you could ask them, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And they're like, I just love where I work and I love what I do. If they love where they work and love what they do, the chances of them, since they don't understand where they're going to be in 10 years, they're probably going to be somewhere in 10 years that they can't even fathom.
Right.
And that's why they couldn't tell you that.
Right.
Like me, I tell you guys this shit all the time. I don't know where we're going to be in 10 years, but we're going to look back and we're going to be like, holy fuck.
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
We made it.
I got visions and all this shit, but that can't even compare, dude. We can't even start. I mean, when I explain to people, and even you guys before you worked here, like my vision and what I thought, dude, most people are like laughing.
Right.
Like, you can laugh all you want.
Right.
I know what I'm built like, you know.
Well, you got to look at it, though, because back in the day, even before I knew you, you were obviously younger.
A lot younger. Yeah.
And you look at today's society, and it's someone in the youth comes up and has a drive, they're judged. Look at this tryhard. Look at this guy. Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, a lot of us grew up, I know me and you, I know you were swim team, but no, seriously, high school sports and stuff. If you're in there and you're playing high school,
time out. Let's pause real quick.
Oh,
I did swim team and I was on the dive team and I took second in city. Thank you very much.
Ooh, high school quarterback.
Just saying.
Where's our tennis player at? Raise your hand.
Right here.
Oh,
like Eddie Hall. Or no, Eddie Hall's a swimmer. My bad. Did you know that? You know Eddie Hall, strongman?
I know Arnold Schwarzenegger did ballet.
Big Jack dude.
I saw him tear apart two guys in a cage.
Yeah, that dude is a killer swimmer.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Anyways,
so
continue.
It's one of those things to where even in today's society, you're growing up high school sports, college sports, you have that guy that wants to be the leader on the team, the guy that seems like he's a tryhard and everybody judges him.
Uncle Rico.
And but that's what happens in today's society. Someone that has drive, someone with youth, like you did back in the day, and all of us have had back in the day. You have all this drive and everybody's, look at this weasel. He doesn't know what the world's about. Just wait. And it's like, the world is what you make it.
Yep. You like to see homos naked.
Ding dong. Yes. God, I love it, man. It's great. It's great.
That's actually what happened to me when I was working in a production company. I used to always do like 6 times the amount that was required. Yeah. And the guys would all yell at me, what the fuck?
The container company or wherever?
In Blair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they're called Corbion now. Like, you only had to do like, I think it was 30 like pallets an hour, and I was doing like anywhere from 90 to 120. And
nerd.
Like, you're making us look bad. I'm like, dude, I'm here for 12 fucking hours.
Right.
This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. Right. Like, you guys hired me to do a job. Well, you just need to know you don't have to do that. Just do the bare minimum and get by. And it's like, no, that's the case. I just want to go home. Let me do whatever it is throughout the day, and then pay me for the rest of the day. I'll go home. And
exactly.
And then, you know, you ask them that, hey, you know, if you're supposed to do 15 an hour and you get 180 done, you can go home with pay. How soon are you going to have the 180 done?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But guess what?
Done in 2 fucking hours too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because people, and you know what? To circle back on that, Incentive is a great tool.
Exactly.
Here's the problem with incentive, though.
Why should you incentivize someone for doing the job you hired him to do?
Exactly.
Boom. Yeah. So like you just said, you were like,
Ding
I'm here
dong.
for 12 hours, so I'm just here to fuck shit up
Do
and
my
then go
job.
home.
Do my
And then
job
you
to the
got
best of my
people, you know,
abilities.
like we got a young man that works for us. He works for a place that's very known and whatnot, where
Corporate companies ruin the younger generation.
You work too hard, and why are you making me look bad? I'm just here to do a job, dude. They hired me to do this. Well, why can't you just slow down? Why do I need to slow down? Well, because then we're going to have to do more work. Oh, okay. Well, let me explain this, how this works. You guys have heard me say it. You're going to hear me say it a lot more on this podcast. Inputs equal outputs. It's as simple as that in life. And that is how it works. So the more value that you bring, and if you're bringing a company a lot of value and they don't see that value and you have other employees around you that are like you're bringing too much value or you're doing too much, you got to move the fuck on, because there is companies out there looking for people that are willing to do that, and they will compensate you for going above and beyond. And most people don't believe that. Or is it hard? Yeah, man. In corporate America, let's just face it, unless you work for a killer ass corporate company, which I couldn't name one that's like a big corporate, you're not going to get that. So you're talking, you need to work for companies that are $100 million revenue companies and lower, because that's small business. People don't think that, but they are 100 million and smaller. Why? Well, because if they incentivize you and give you a reason, like where you used to work, there was incentives there, and you knew if you did then it pays off or whatnot, unless you piss them off, which is whole nother topic. But incentive's a powerful tool, but when it's abused from both sides, then it becomes a problem. But it's usually both sides always abuse it, because it's usually if you're a go-getter like Kendrick, right? Hey, Kendrick, you're banging out 60 pallets in a 12-hour period, and these guys are doing 15. And say when they hired you, they're like, hey, norm's 15. If you can get if you can get whatever the pallet quantity was, if you can do 10 more pallets, you know, we're going to pay you a 2% commission on your hourly, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. What's Kendrick actually going to do? I'm getting them pallets done. Oh, yeah. Where the majority are like, I don't need that incentive.
Because they're comfortable, bro.
We've run into it here, not currently, but we've run into it where we've incentivized very handsomely. Yep. Right? And then what happens? Once or twice, and then they have to earn it. Mm-hmm. You got to earn it. It's not given. Right. Why would you be given this why would you be given this when you were hired to do this job? I shouldn't have to pay, or no one should have to pay you for a job in which you were hired for any more money than what you agreed upon. These incentives come when you do more. Yeah.
I love it when people ask them, like, "What? There's no incentive. You got your job. That's a pretty good incentive."
I mean, yes, but like, you know, when you're talking above and beyond, you know, where dudes, you know, want to go above and beyond, well, that comes at a cost for the guy too. Like,
well, that's what raises are for, though.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Yes, raises are for that, especially when you do like the way we operate, you know. Mm-hmm. Yes, but like, you know, we give spiffs for things that other companies,
absolutely,
but like we've had in the past where we gave some spiffs, dude. We're like, hey, dude,
some cheddar.
You'd be like, hey, dude, you can go do this little side job here for this door or whatever, dude. We're going, you know, you just blah blah blah, and they're like, can I do it after work? Or can I do it during work? No, but you could do it on a Saturday. Well, I don't want to do it. Okay, then you don't get it. And then the next guy we give it to, gets it. And then they're pissed off. Why'd he do it? Because he went and did it on Saturday. Right. Well, I told you I'd do it, but you said you didn't want to do it on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. Why would I pay you here plus that to do something that was a commission, that was, or not a commission, that was, you know, a perk in a way, like, hey, I'm an incentive, I'm doing you a solid. Mm-hmm. And that's being glorified now, like, because that goes into like sales are so crazy now, because like they don't pay like they used to, man. Like sales does not pay unless you're working for the right company. They're gonna find every way out of paying you, dude. Oh yeah. We hear in our world all the time. Oh yeah. Roofing and siding and gutter companies and things like that, where these salesmen go out and they might pound doors, dude, and they sell jobs and they're getting paid. Let's just throw a low number, 3.5-4% commission on a $250,000 job or whatever, and then what ends up happening? Oh well, time out. let's get all expenses. We need that, and at the end, it's like, oh, you only actually made 0.5%. Whoa,
Right.
And that's a tough thing because like people don't understand. Like if you're doing those things and you're doing the best of your abilities, like that's how it works, dude.
Yes, I completely agree.
But
Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree too.
so I'm gonna let you guys do a sports bite.
You gotta go.
I gotta pee.
Oh, okay. Sports bite. Let's talk about some sports, dude.
I got.
College World Series is it. College World Series is here. Who you got winning the College World Series? We made my call last week. I'll still roll with them, but now that you know the College World Series field is set, I know you don't watch baseball, but this is part of a sports bite. Sports bite. You got to figure it out. Who you got? Do you not even know who the field is? No. You got University of North Carolina versus Virginia. Who you taking in that game? This is baseball. Another form of whack fuck.
I'll take Virginia.
Okay, I'm taking Carolina, and I get to watch that game live, so I'm going to text you the whole time. FSU, Tennessee, who you got?
Tennessee.
Are you serious? Florida State is hot. Taking Florida State. NC State, University of Kentucky, who you taking?
Kentucky.
Pack. Florida, Texas A&M, who are you taking?
Texas A&M.
Florida. Dude, we are backwards, and I think you did that on purpose.
How am I supposed to know? I don't know your teams.
Yeah, no.
I just think that's funny.
Yeah, every single game we called backwards.
Yeah.
All right, well, Wednesday, tomorrow, 7:30. Boston's playing in Dallas. Who are you taking on that game?
Mavs.
You're taking the Mavs. I'm
Mavs
taking
by 20.
Boston.
Mavs by 20.
And I'm going to take Boston by 4 or more.
4.
Teen.
4.
Teen.
That's pretty confident. 4.
Yeah, they're playing at home. Or they're playing away. They're playing in Dallas.
Gosh, part of me wants to do a food bet on this one.
I know. I'm waiting. Dallas is only favored by 2.5 points, and they're playing at home.
I'm just saying.
Bust on the betting lines.
A few podcasts ago, I said Mavs in 7. So the Mavs
Kristaps
are about to
Porzingis
make-
a goon.
they're
Drew
gonna
Holiday
make
is a
The
goon.
next 3 games, the Mavs are winning. Promise you.
Scotty Scheffler is the new Tiger Woods. Can we talk about Scotty Scheffler sitting there on the fucking golf course doing great? Ooh, the big news. The big news. Perfect one for the sports bite.
Caitlin Clark?
No. Dan Hurley stays at University of Connecticut. That is huge. Shuns the Lakers. And did you know, 20 years to this year, the Lakers offered a job to Mike Krzyzewski from Duke, and he turned it down as well. And 20 years later, they go after the highest prospect college coach, and they shun him down 20 years later. Jeannie Buss, you got to get Rob Pelinka out of there. Come on now. You can't use a former agent as a GM. What are we talking about? Stephen A. Smith would say the same thing.
Yeah.
You got nothing to say for the sports bite?
Caitlin Clark.
What about
How
her?
do you feel about her not getting selected for Team USA?
I think it's fantastic for her.
Really?
She would not
For
hold
her?
up. She would not hold up.
Yeah.
She would not hold
She
up.
said she woke up a beast or a monster.
Yeah, I know. She texted her coach for the Fever and said monster has been awoken or something like that. And it's like, okay, well, all 6 foot 1 inch of you is a monster.
They did. I saw it on, I think it was Instagram. They had like a little video, I guess, of one of her other games. She was on the bench, and the audience started chanting, "We want Caitlin," or "We want Clark."
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, every other WNBA player you ask out there, they say that everybody watches the WNBA for them as well. But I know there's plenty of stats out there on Twitter, or
I watch
formerly
it for
known
Angel
as
Reese.
X. And, I mean, 17,000 compared to 7,000 is a big number. And when Caitlin Clark's on the court, no matter what arena they're in, their attendance is pretty much double. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, take it for what it's worth. Nobody watches the WNBA for everybody else besides Caitlin Clark. That's what the thing is out there now. So, take it out.
Hey, where's the button at? Hey, where's the
Wait,
button
we
at?
need our exit music
we
over
need the
here.
exit music. Gosh, dang it! You left us for failure.
Dude, this is cool.
I'm back.
Hey, and he
welcome
is
back.
back.
That was the
The
longest
next
piss in the
contestant
world.
here on The Price is Right.
Now you got to say, okay, we'll talk to you next time.
All right, we'll see you next time. And don't forget, like, share, and smash that like button.
Well,
See you
Share
next
it,
week.
Follow it, tweet it, delete it, resubscribe.
And don't forget to twat it.
twat it.